Hello again, this is Keith Niger, Director of the Barnabas Center for Counseling. We're talking about school. I realize as we do these video blogs, there's a fine balance between, how long is too long doing these video blogs? I realize studies show usually about a minute and a half to maybe 2.5 minutes at most is about as long as you want to go. So, which you understand, I tend to be a little long-winded, and it's hard to get everything in that brief period of time. But if you have any questions or want to follow up, feel free to reach out to us. If something is not covered on these blogs, just reach out to us through Facebook, or feel free to call the office, and we can go into more detail about anything that we've discussed in the blog. The last thing I want to mention to you as we wrap this series up is, again, going back to what I began this series with, and that is fighting for time together as a family. Now, the thing I want to address today is also maintaining your identity as a couple. Again, so many commitments our children have, so much time we spend as parents carting our kids around to activities and then spending usually several hours at that activity, which again, we want to support our children. But again, what happens is, what gets lost in the process is we no longer go out on dates as a couple. And, often when I do marriage counseling and I ask a couple, when was the last time that you went out on a date? They kind of look at me like, what's that? It's been, unfortunately, often months since the last date because of all these commitments. And again, it's so important to fight for your marriage, and you have to spend that time together on a regular basis. We're not going to be good at anything unless we practice it. And really the same thing applies to our marriage. If we don't practice being a couple by going out on dates and spending time together, as adults with one another, and having conversations with one another about our marriage and just enjoying being together, if you're not practicing that, you're not going to be good at your marriage. So I just really want to encourage you as we wrap up this series to make that a priority. Now, you may have to be creative with how you do that and the times you get together, but it's so important, because the consequences can be good or bad long term if you don't do that. Of course, if you do, then it's going to be great for your family. It's going to be great for your marriage, and it's going to prove to be a wonderful thing long term. Thanks for listening. God bless.